Welcome back to the Star Wars Show live at Star Wars Celebration, and I'm now joined by Brian Herring, a man who you might not have seen in The Force Awakens, but was a giant part of the film as a green screen actor and puppeteer of BB-8. Brian, thank you so much for coming to Celebration and being on the show.
It's great to be here.
Now, you've been to Celebration before in the crowd. You were here back in
2007.
2007. Yes. What was your experience like then?
It was fantastic. You know, it was really busy and everyone was having a great time. But this is insane.
How does it feel coming back in as someone who's on the inside now?
It's very, very odd. Very strange to be up here. Yes.
So, what was as a puppeteer, it's your job to take an inanimate object, a puppet, and bring it to life.
Yes.
What was your process like with BB-8?
Well, BB-8 came to us as a design, and then some of the guys who were here yesterday, Josh Lee and Matt Denton, turned it into a puppet, and then subsequently a lot of animatronics. And I had to, with a chap called Dave Chapman, we had to find a personality for it and a vocabulary of movement. So we went for 2 weeks in a soundstage with a video camera, and we just worked on how he would go forwards, how he would go backwards, how he would look sad, how he would look happy, how we could make him look scared, angry, how he would go downstairs, upstairs, that kind of thing.
So you've got an idea of what the character is like, and then were there surprising things you discovered about BB-8 while you were working with him?
We found with the puppet version that if I shook the rig, I could make him vibrate and look scared just through the vibration traveling up the rods. And we also found that we could run through sand very quickly, whereas some of the animatronic ones can't do that. So I was always employed to go up hills, down hills, stairs, and stuff that the animatronics couldn't do.
That's fantastic. And there were many different versions of BB-8. There were 7 or 8 different BB-8s.
There were 7 for the film, yes. We had the puppet version, we had the Wiggler, which was just on a plate, and that was mostly animatronic, which I did, and I had the head and the turning body on that one. And then there were 2 trike versions, which have wheels on the back, which would drive along. So if we were in a very crowded room, like say Maz's castle, or the Rebel base sometimes, and there were people passing behind us, or special effects explosions and things, and they couldn't remove me from it digitally, then they would use those ones, and they would drive around, and then they would remove the drive unit later on. We had a stunt version we just throw around. There was a version that the actors could carry and load into the smuggling compartments of the Millennium Falcon. And I think that's it, yeah.
Well, it's so remarkable how you have, in The Force Awakens, practical effects and CGI effects together, and it's so very seamless.
Well, they went at the film as if they were making it in 1985 or 86. So all of those techniques were pretty much practical then, but now we've got digital effects, which means you can put somebody directly behind a droid and just rub him out later. So we could achieve things you couldn't do back then.
And you've been working with puppetry and animatronics for some time now.
Yeah, about 25
You started
years,
out doing sort of Muppet and Henson type work.
Yes, I worked for the Jim Henson Creature Shop for quite some time, which was great, and then I went to work for Neil Scanlon on various films, and that led me to come here.
And you worked with Neil on Prometheus.
Prometheus, yes.
And that's kind of the path to there.
Yes, I mean, Prometheus was a very, very different show to that. It was more of a horror-based thing, but just working with him on that and getting to know him and the way we both worked, he wanted me to come in, and I wound up being the puppeteer consultant for The Force Awakens. So I helped to cast the creature performers, and I would bring the puppeteers in, and we'd all work together in rehearsals, and we'd find the best people for the right jobs.
That's one of the things that I think is really remarkable, is how much Scanlon has this great thing. He says, he talks about the theater of it, of bringing things to life, and how you have in The Force Awakens, you have a lot of puppetry, a lot of human beings inside things operating them. Did you get involved in that much?
Yes,
too?
well, what we did with each creature, J.J. Abrams would want to come and see it. So what Neil would do is he'd stage what he would call a show and tell, which was a big scene, which I often wrote the script for, a very sort of Star Wars-y script, and we get all the different performers in with their heads, fully dressed in their costumes, with all the animatronics guys with them, and we would act out a scene, and J.J. would walk through the scene, so we would show him what those characters could do when you pointed a camera at them, and how they would look on screen and interacting.
That's absolutely amazing. I love it. Thank you so much for coming, Brian.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. More Star Wars Celebration is coming up in just a moment here on the Star Wars Show Live.